This is the Everyday Hustle Show, where our number one priority is self-development.
Each week, we will dive into insightful topics that encourage you to push your thinking beyond average.
Smash that subscribe button and tune in every Sunday at 6 p.m. We're hot. 72. Right, Chris?
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to number 72, episode number 72. We are actually live on location today.
We recorded live.
Yeah, we're coming in with a ISDN line. That's what they say in the biz when you're on set and location. We are at the Lake Worth Pier, located approximately 10 minutes south of West Palm Beach, right smack dab east on the fucking coast.
Yeah, we had that new merch drop, so we had to come and get some photos to share the shirts with you guys. They are available now on our website. We have 3 new shirts.
We bought a couple ourselves this week.
Bought a couple ourselves. Gotta show the support to ourselves, But the shirts are live on everydayhustleshow.com/merch. You can pick up a shirt, and actually, if you go to our website, theeverydayhustleshow.com, you're gonna automatically be prompted to enter your email. And if you want to enter your email for our mailing list, we're gonna be putting out weekly updates for episodes, show notes, and some behind the scenes. You can get a 20% coupon for any of the new designs for our t-shirts. And Christian, how does that make you feel?
Fucking amazing.
It's pretty sweet, dude. We actually got some cool,
really amazing.
Cool shirts. The new Elevate shirt is fucking dope. It was almost like it was made from unicorn jizz. What the hell? Yeah.
So yeah, the shirts and anything that we, offer to our listeners is a way to help fund the podcast, because we've said it multiple times. The podcast costs money to run, so anything that we do is not to try to make money. It's just to help try to fund the podcast and essentially maybe hopefully one day have the podcast pay for itself.
Touche. We also are being real pieces of shit right now because we forgot to introduce that we have our friend Josh Labatch, a.k.a. French Toast.
How was the first name again?
Josh. I did say it weird. Josh is sitting here.
We're bringing on the heat tonight, everybody. We got a very, very special guest. Josh hails from Toms River, New Jersey.
I thought you were going to say his
born
middle
on a
name
sunny day, March
1985.
1986.
Oh, yeah, dude. His fucking birthday is one day after mine, except for 2 years and one day after mine.
So Josh and I graduated high school together, and he went on to pursue an education at Rutgers, graduated with a bachelor's in mechanical engineering, and currently now works for a multi-billion-dollar company. And we'll go into all that. We want to talk about his education, his career, how he got to where he got to, what helped him climb the so-called corporate ladder. I know that he has a luxurious lifestyle. He works from home. Not only did he secure a killer job with a good education, he works in his freaking pajamas.
Not only is Josh a pillar of human success, he is the physical human embodiment of sexual proclivity. Let's hear from
Josh. Welcome to Florida. How are you feeling tonight?
I feel honored that I'm down here with you guys, sitting here, smoking a cigar, enjoying this beautiful view. Just finished a nice dip in the ocean, and just feeling like it's been a great day. Only been here about 9 hours now, but it's been a great day.
How was the fucking flight in, dude? Any babies crying? A fucking pain in the ass babies?
No babies. It was a short, quick, hour and 15 minutes, real quick from Charleston, South Carolina. So, not too long, not too bad.
Hell yeah. Did you mention that he is a business partner of yours? You piece of shit. Josh is also a partial owner of Juice Revolution, located in Coconut Creek on the corner of Hillsborough and 441. He is, are you here for business reasons or pleasure?
It's always both when I come down here, boys.
I've known you a long time, Josh.
Yeah, since...
I I might have seen you naked once or twice.
2004?
Yeah, back in the days of Bloomsburg. You never went to Bloomsburg, but I feel like you were there more than most of my friends that actually went to college there.
Yeah, I sort of became the honorary roommate.
Yeah, and your dad had a house in the outskirts, right?
In the middle of nowhere, Wallopin, Pennsylvania.
Wallopin. I remember that. I remember some weird nights there. Some fucking real weird nights, bud. What the hell? No, like I'm talking about psilocybin
good
mushrooms,
times.
dude.
Creating bonds, creating, lasting relationships.
You guys hear that they were trying to pass a law to legalize mushrooms in Colorado?
They already did that.
No, it failed.
No, it passed 2 days
It passed? I heard it failed 2 days ago.
No, sir, Bobaroo.
And why did you leave Colorado?
On to bigger and better things, There's
better
a lot
job
of
opportunities?
No, with regards to my position, being remote, I have the opportunity to go as I please, and find that place where I really want to be. So that's the journey I'm on right now, and just being down here is another day, just like that.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. I thought they fucking nixed that fucking bill. So what's the point? It's for medical purposes to treat drug and substance abuse and mental health issues and stuff like that? Or is it for recreational use?
From my knowledge, they've been doing testing for quite some time now, but now it's just decriminalized in the sense where you can't get any charges for, the possession or use of.
Damn. That's wild, dude. Christian just blew a fucking ash in my right eyeball. Do you, well, I know Josh took mushrooms, but is everyone sitting in this circle taking mushrooms? Taking. Currently, what the hell, dude? We're in recovery, bro.
I've taken mushrooms. Have you taken mushrooms?
I've taken plenty.
Christian, have you taken mushrooms?
Once, yeah.
So, yeah, there's all those ayahuasca treatments and things that they do for addiction and whatever. Like, yeah, if it works, it works. Whatever. My personal experience with mushrooms was I took them to get high. I didn't take them for any other reason. So, and the same thing with marijuana. I don't know. I feel like decriminalizing drugs and all that is great, but I think like the number one thing that I think of when those like stuff comes out on the news is that like those other countries where drugs are completely decriminalized and how the crime is so low.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, and the prisons are empty and all this shit. But like, I don't know. In a perfect world, I don't really think it's gonna make a difference, especially in America. I don't know.
Yeah, some of those countries, though, there's also like people getting their heads chopped off on the side of the road for fucking drugs. But I think, yeah, like certain drugs. I mean, I can see the benefit behind legalizing marijuana for tax bond. Like where our country's in such a deficit, and I guarantee. Well, I don't guarantee because I'm not a fucking economic analyst, but if you legalize weed in everywhere in the country, for tax money over a certain number of years could probably potentially, well, definitely decrease our fucking deficit, to a sense. I don't know. But, yeah, with mushrooms, I have no, like, calm memory of any fucking time taking mushrooms. It's always like the craziest fucking experiences, and there were definitely some bad experiences too, fucking freaking out, losing my fucking mind, but there were innocent, fun ones too. Those were younger days, 10 years, well, more than 10 years ago. I haven't taken it's mushrooms in a long time.
I think a lot of it also gives you a lot of perspective on different things,
Taking mushrooms?
Yeah, once you've taken mushrooms,
opens
or
your
any type
eyes,
of
dude.
psychedelic drug,
That is actually
you do have just visual, recognition for different things and different memories and thoughts of that such.
I definitely think it's something everyone should do once in their life for the experience. Just be smart, be safe, and make sure you do it when you're like 18 to 24 years old. Because if you're doing it when you're 30 years old, like our age, like I'm gonna take I feel like that's just a little strange to me, like a 30-some-year-old man taking mushrooms. It is, dude. Grow up. for once in your freaking life.
Primary. Stop judging people, Jeff.
All right, so let's get to the meat and potatoes here. Tell us about Rutgers, Josh. How long were you in school there for?
Well, I actually started at Rutgers, left for a year. Took a little bit of a journey myself to another school for a year, Messiah College. Did that for a little bit, and then actually returned to Rutgers with the expectation of finishing out where I'd started,
So that whole process from starting to going to Messiah to back to Rutgers to graduating with your degree was how long?
6 years. 6 years.
For a 4-year degree?
Well, yes. Most engineers do it in 5. I lost the semester transferring, and then
Trying to find the Lord, right?
Yes.
That's okay. So throughout your time, and because education, we always talk about it because it's a controversial topic. I don't believe that people need a formal education nowadays. That's just my opinion. What's your take on that? Like, if you had someone today, in today's day and age, come up to you, they're like, 15, 16 years old, a junior, maybe sophomore, junior in high school, and they're like, hey, man, I'm thinking about going to college, or I'm thinking about, my dad has this business he's gonna hand down to me, and I don't know what to do. What would your advice to them be?
My first question then would be, do you know exactly what you want to go to school for, or where you want to end up as far as a career, or where your passions are? And without that knowledge, I don't think anyone should necessarily devote themselves to one major, or make that big decision at that age. We often sometimes, or at least for myself, think you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing, but my advice would be either go to a county college, or even just take some time to really discover where you feel that you fit, with regards to your future and your passions in life. So fortunate enough for me, I grew up in garages, racing cars and whatnot, so I always knew that I always wanted to be involved in some sort of mechanical or engineering field. So I got the luck of the draw on that one. I had a lot of good support with regards to determining and discovering what I wanted to do as far as my career goes. But just my first question would be, if you don't know, then take it slow. Don't commit.
So do you like the idea of taking off like the first year or two to travel, or
Yeah, I would totally support
after high
that.
school?
For sure, I would totally support that.
Yeah.
I feel like if I did that, my education might have turned out a little bit different. But no regrets, Interesting. Yeah, I feel like if you don't know, you don't know. So if you don't know, why waste the time?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Exactly.
And when I got into it, I had no clue. So, and finishing school, how did you end up? Tell us what Siemens is. Tell us about what you do, and tell us about how you ended up there from graduation.
So Siemens is a global company. They are based out of Germany. There's also one headquarters in the United States. With regards to the company itself, they have numerous divisions, departments. They have energy, transportation, building automation, medical with X-ray machines, and so on and so forth. So they have probably over 250,000 employees all across the whole globe. So with regards to my role and my division, I do building automation. So the current team that I'm on, we do all the building controls for Microsoft, Amazon, and other data center groups to ensure the fact that their buildings and so on and so forth can protect their servers, and ensure the fact that they're making as much money as that they can. So at this point in time, I do electrical schematics and product selection for all of the HVAC building automation systems that they have in their buildings. So
It's awesome, dude. It's fucking awesome.
So with regards to all that, I mean, the reason that I got discovered was basically, I had, fortunate enough, a headhunter, just looking seeing resumes and stuff like that. So they had approached me and gave me the opportunity to, go through the interviewing process and so on and so forth.
So when you say building automation for the HVAC, because I do I work in the HVAC field.
Yep.
I'm a tech. So what exactly is it that you do in regards to HVAC?
So our company has our own controllers basically, so we can program our controllers, and we do all the hard wiring and integration to different systems. Say if there is a package controls unit.
So basically you allow the big companies to have like one center computer that operates everything.
So in that retrospect, it'd be we have our own workstation, which is basically the eye in the sky for the facilities team, so that they can see everything that's going on within the whole building, and ensure that everything's functioning properly and running its course.
That's awesome, man. It's good when you have a good controls company, but it's the worst when you have a bad controls company, because we've dealt when just shit never runs right. Because basically the control, something happens, you have like an issue where the parameters aren't set up properly, and so
Absolutely.
you have 24 different units not running correctly, not heating, not cooling properly, and that can be
I
insane.
think that's one of our biggest struggles in our business in itself, just because it's always changing. There's always going to be something that they want to fine tune even more, and it's a machine.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Yeah. So how did you? Oh, you already said that. You said that. So somebody approached you. And that was like immediately upon graduation, or was there any time between when you graduated and when you got the job that you were like, oh, what am I going to do now?
So my last year of school, my senior year, I did an internship at a consulting firm, working with mechanical and electrical engineers. So with regards to that, they're the people that put together all the plans for any type of construction or any type of big project like that. And I had the opportunity to work with them, learn a lot as far as what goes into the process in the big scheme. So that sort of gave me an additional step in the right direction to be noticed and to be seen by a headhunter to show that I had already some experience within the industry itself.
And quick question, as far as when you're looking to get an internship, how does that work? Like, do you just Google internship and
my grandmother actually knew the president of this firm, so it was sort of one of those who and oftentimes that is sort of how a lot of things work nowadays. I often do like to say it's not what it's who you know, but the people, if they know that you're a dedicated hard worker and you're there to try to improve or do the best that you can at all times, then those people will vouch for you any day of the week.
Riddle me this. How do you stay motivated to get work done when you work from home? I mean, I feel like I would be beating off 3 times a day before 10 a.m. every day. And then after that, I would just be sleeping off the freaking load.
Sure, it's not easy by any means.
Do you find yourself like drifting, and then next thing you know, you're Netflixing and chilling by yourself?
No, there are times when I do find myself, getting up numerous times to go either like load the dishwasher or throw a load of laundry in or something just to break up the day. But most days I try to take a break in the middle of the day, for an hour, take my dog out for a longboard ride or something of the sorts, and just get out and about just to break up the day and not feel like I'm stuck to a
I mean,
desk.
that sounds so awesome. Like if I could work from I now have the ability with the software and stuff that I could do my job from home, but no one would ever fucking let me do that. Plus I kind of need to like be in the mix of the office I run, so it's like I would love to do that, but it would be hard, but it is possible. But I just feel like it's such an awesome thing to get that opportunity, but it's got to be tough.
Oh, absolutely.
In the same respect, you know?
You know, as it sort of goes hand in hand too with working remote. As long as you're getting the job done and, you know, you're meeting your deadlines and that, it's not that hard to, you know, take 30 minutes for yourself here and there. But
yeah.
As long as you're doing your 8 hours or whatever it may be that you're required or expected of, then, you know,
touche.
Everything's good.
Too fucking shay, dude. Go ahead, Chris. What do you got to say, you piece of shit?
Do you have a routine in the morning?
No, not at this time.
He wakes up at freaking 9:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm literally about to piss my pants. I'll be right back.
For me, it's a little difficult because, you know, most of our business for myself is on the West Coast. So 3 hours ahead, you know, I often do get my good shut-eye until 9 a.m.
Where are you going, Jess? Jesse's got to use the boys' room. So, what were some things that you struggled with going through your education, and how did you persevere to make it through that long of a point in time in your life? And what are some qualities that you found in yourself at that point in your life that you might not have thought that you had growing up?
Throwing a ton of questions right into one. Look at you, Andrew, as usual.
I'm a freaking pro interviewer.
Yeah, absolutely. So first off, I guess the biggest struggle I had, you know, with regards to engineering, it's a lot of long hours, and you know, with regards to all the long hours, you sort of start feeling like you're getting run down. And the one thing that I did learn out of all of that was, you know, as long as you stay with it and stay at it, you're going to come out on the other side. And, you know, one of my toughest things was not being in the real world as far as the industry. You know, I didn't enjoy school necessarily when it came down to, you know, the everyday classes and just taking tests and all that stuff. The thing that kept me going was knowing at the end of the day when I'm done, you know, I'm going to have a solid job and have the opportunities that, you know, some people might not often get with regards to another degree.
That's awesome, man. So you're completely satisfied with where you're at right now?
Yeah, for the most part. The only thing, so now I've been doing this, I've been on my team working within the data center group for about 2 years now. But all in all, I've been in this industry for almost 9. And the only thing that I'm seeing that, you know, doesn't hit every mark with regards to, you know, my career and so on and so forth is just when it starts getting monotonous, doing the same thing repetitively all the time. So, you know, I'll be looking for the next step, something to change it up, something, you know, still in the same field, same industry, just maybe in a different position, whether it's, you know, some sort of management role or something of the sorts.
Yeah, see, that's crazy because you would think like a lot of people's, you know, dream job they think would be to have what you have, which is, you know, being able to work from home and not have to, you know, being stuck in an office all day. But what I think, at least for myself, I like the idea of it, but I think I can understand where you're coming from in terms of like I like to be around people. Mm-hmm. Like I like to, you know. Yeah, that is. Some days it is a struggle. You know, I'll go out in public and be like, oh, there's humans interaction. you start losing your marbles a little bit when you spend a few days home by yourself with your dog, and that's about the only interaction you get. Yeah. That could be tough, man. So
it definitely. I mean, with regards to being remote, it does give you an opportunity to enjoy more things in life at your own pace and not feel like you need to go to the office and be here at this time and leave at this time. It gives you a lot more freedom to enjoy the things that you do enjoy.
Now, your position, does it require you to, you know, work? Because there's some, like working from home, there's some where, you know, you could have a situation where you only have to work from, you know, let's just say for the sake of argument, 8 to 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now there's others where you have to like work and answer emails like at 10 p.m. at 1 in the morning. Is that your situation or what is it?
Not to that extent, or I mean for the hours in that extent, but there are evenings when I'm checking emails, even whatever, working until 9 or 10, but those days are the days when I put my time in, and then I sit down and relax, or have dinner, and then I'll just just being diligent and keeping an eye on and keeping a thumb on the pulse, if you will, just to see what's going on if anyone does need that additional support. So there's no set guideline as far as hours. As I mentioned before, if getting the work done and everyone's getting satisfied and the deadlines are met, there's really not much room to screw up as long as you're doing those things.
Awesome, man. And just a personal question: do you travel a lot, or besides
No, at this point in time, I have not had to so much. When I first started on my team that I'm on right now, the expectation was for me to be at Microsoft's headquarters a lot more, to be a part of the early design for them, to help support them in the automation side. But as things progressed, with regards to just the workload and so on and so forth, it's my time is better spent at home, doing my job with regards to design and all that stuff.
And no traveling like just on personal.
Most of it's personal at this point.
Yeah.
I'd say in the past year I've traveled twice for my work. Most recently I was just in San Antonio just for a team kickoff meeting with the local resources as well as our team. So, those are the times when you got to go out and just provide the knowledge and information that you got to those local resources.
Dude sounds so professional, no?
Yeah.
Relax, dude. Local resources and Microsoft headquarters. No, that's so cool. How did you financially get through school?
Oh man, I'm still paying for it. All yeah. So no, it was all primarily loans and private as well as federal.
And did you work through your education?
Only in the summers.
So you basically use the financial aid to eat and survive through your education.
Yeah, paid for my housing, my food, every book, everything that I possibly could need in college was through a loan.
And what was the total dollar amount after you were done?
It was around 115, 120,000 that I finished that with.
Yeah. How long? What? Christian's saying how long? How long what? We already talked about that. 6 years. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I enjoyed myself a little too much, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, before I was mentioning that most engineers can do it in 5. It's not an easy feat by any means.
Yeah, but even if you did it in 5, that's like what, 20,000 less.
Yeah.
So it would have been like 95 instead of 115.
Yeah.
It's not a big difference. Okay. All right. Good morning, everybody. Jesse's back. Good evening. So obviously you invested into the juice bar. You are kind of, I want to say silent investor, but not really silent. You're silent, but not so silent. And by what I mean,
I have some say, if you will.
Yeah, but what I mean by that was that so people who might not know that, because this could be a possibility for other people who are listening to the show. If you have money, right, you have to make the money work for you. So if you're sitting on a lump sum of money and it's not invested in something, it could be accruing even if it's at a slow rate. So, I just was briefly talking to Josh about what we were doing. He said, I might be interested in, and we, wrote up a business plan, got serious about it. He bought in for a certain percentage of the company. And now when we get, going and moving and start paying back those investments, then he will have his investment back plus a certain percentage of every, any money that we take back. So I think that it's a good thing for people to to think about. And there are always people out there who are looking to start businesses, and there are always people who are looking for money, really, when it comes down to starting a business. And somebody might have some money, but not the whole amount they need to start a business. And I would encourage anyone who is talking or thinking about starting a business to talk to everyone in their network about what they're doing, because you never know who might just be there to help you. Family might want to help you, friends might want to help you. You might find someone who wants to help you, and then it falls apart, and that's just kind of the way it is. That's just how it goes. But there are tons of people out there who are looking to start a business, who need capital to do so, and it's a great investment instead of sitting on money. And Napoleon Hill talks about it in the book all the time. Like, what's that? Is that Rich Dad Poor Dad, or is that who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad? You don't know. You don't know.
No, I don't know.
Napoleon Hill. What was the book Napoleon Hill wrote that we wrote?
Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah, Think and Grow Rich. Rich Dad Poor Dad is a book that's all about making the money work for you. So, were you nervous to make that investment, Josh? Are you still nervous? Because obviously it's been 7 months and you haven't gotten any money back. Nobody's gotten any money back. And that's kind of normal. But were you nervous handing that money over to a new company, a startup?
Bits of me were. I think there was more doubt in people external to me that were, in their own situations in life, maybe not with the same opportunity that I had, but with you, Andrew, here, and us discussing it, I just knew with regards to what was going to take place and how this was going to be successful, and just the drive and the emphasis on what could take place and where the passion was and where the expectation was as far as what the end game was going to be. So that was extremely comforting to have that information, and especially growing up with you and knowing you for as long as I have, that was always just more of an easy thing for me to say, sure, let's do it. This is going to be an opportunity where we're all going to be in it, and we're in it to win it and do it the best of our ability.
Yeah, and another good thing for people to realize is that it doesn't take a whole lot of money. Like, if you have an idea and you want to start a small business, like, you don't always need tons of money. We have a storefront location, brick and mortar juice bar that was started for under $50,000. So for 3 people to pool that kind of money together is not, that's a lot of money, but it's not that much to, like, if you're resourceful, you can make it happen. And without any risk in life, there's never going to be any reward, So I see it, for you as getting in on the ground floor of something that has tons of potential and that is growing rapidly daily. And now we can see it growing rapidly daily. And it's just very exciting. And it's really cool to be a part of it and to watch it grow. And I just can't wait for that first fucking paycheck. It might take another.
It's coming quick, though, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it right now. It's coming this month. Putting it out there in the universe, because we set a goal. I'm gonna hit the fucking goal, and I'm gonna take a little. Hey, how you doing?
A little. Yeah, and also like going back to what you were saying about it's not about what you know, or it's about who you know. I think that's also important for people to understand, just like Drew was saying too, that if you want to start something, you talk to you put it out there, you speak to people, network. But if Andrew would have never put it out there and like was so passionate in talking about it, he would have Josh might have never heard about it.
Yep.
And that connection might have never been made. So if anyone's like thinking about it, obviously you need to really brainstorm. Andrew came up with the business plan, and that's what he presented to Josh, and Josh was like, okay, there's actually something here. So for people, thinking, oh, I want to start a business, but they don't have a business plan, they don't have a foundation or like a rough idea, it doesn't just like come from nothing. Like, there's footwork that needs to happen.
Yeah, an idea is just an idea until we have execution behind it.
And without those discussions,
And there was a lot of discussions. I mean, there was a lot of talking, a lot of footwork, a lot of action, a lot of writing, a lot of research, a lot of boots on the ground type stuff. So
yeah, and I also think we're extremely fortunate with the resources that we do have at our disposal. With regards to just even our website, and even just like the photography, videography, and all of that, and all the people that do support us in this.
Yeah, that's another thing.
It's been a
You
blessing.
got to be ready to do everything. You got to be able to wear all the hats. But on that note, like, we got to say thank you to Danny in D Squared Media. Who, if you guys are checking out the website, looking at the merchandise, like, he designed the website. He's actually redoing the Juice Bar website right now. So he's been a huge help. His company specializes in web design, business branding, print work, anything that you need to make a small business or any business come to life, from an idea to execution to vision to an actual physical product. He can help you with that. Him and his team are very, very hands-on and amazing. They're small business. He's been in business for himself for, over 8 years, and that's who I run a lot of my ideas and a lot of my stuff by. And he's been a huge help. So anybody who wants to use his services and is a podcast listener is going to receive 10% off of the lifetime of their services, whether it's print, business card, logo design. Just tell them that you heard of him through the podcast, and you're going to receive 10% off.
Wow, dude. It was like we were just at prom, and you told me that I look like a fucking glimmer of hope, and then I took you home, and you know what happens after that. That's what that fucking...
You watched the movie?
Yeah, we watched the movie and nothing happened. We dry jerked. This is actually, dude, this is pretty cool.
Jesse gets on the
The
mic
sun's
for 2
going
seconds.
down. The sun's going down on the fucking ocean. We're sitting here just looking out. I mean, this is where we should be doing the podcast every motherfucking week.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. Like, we're sitting here with a $180 recorder with two $40 mics. We're passing the mics. And, like, we have a full studio set up at my house, So we talked about change, and we talked about, invigorating yourself through different ways and means, and whatever that might be. Seek it out. Drive the different way to work, whatever it is. Do something different during the day. We have all the tools that we need to record in the house, in the studio, in the home office, but we took our little mini recorder here. We're getting out in nature. We're swimming in the ocean. We took some pictures on the beach of our new product, which you guys will see soon. So it's just all about, again, being resourceful and just using what's available to you.
Yeah, never quit.
Never quitting.
Persevere. Yeah, that's one of the other things that I learned with regards to my education is, as hard as it ever got, just keep on
think
pushing.
about if you quit like 3 or 4 years in,
I'd be kicking myself in the ass every day.
You'd be working somewhere that wouldn't be paying the bills, It'd be a whole different journey. And then just the same as like if you didn't invest in the company, we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Nope.
So it's really cool how things work, and it never happens the way that you want it to, but it always happens the way that you should. It should. It always happens the way that it should. Right, Jesse?
It will happen.
Jesse kind of looks like Bam Margera, don't you think, Chris?
Oh yeah, I've been
Hell
saying
yeah.
that forever.
We were
My
taking
entire
pictures. He
relationship.
had his sunglasses on. He has the arms puffed out and shit. I was like, Jesse, be less Bam Margera.
Do I look like old
Younger.
Bam or like
Younger.
fat new Bam?
No,
new
young.
Bam's fucking he's looking
He's
rough
hideous,
as fuck,
dude.
dude. He is.
Hey,
I
do you
love
know
the guy,
that
but
thing he's doing,
looking
like where he's
fucked.
shouting people out and sending them videos, and like he's
Cameo?
charging $60 a clip. Yeah, Anthony did one for Dennis's birthday or
For Bam?
his anniversary. Yeah, he said, "Hey Dennis, happy anniversary" or whatever, and then he said something about jerking off at the end. It was just like you, dude. It was just like Jesse.
You know what? We are a lot alike.
You are.
That's dude, that cameo shit. That's crazy. Caitlyn Jenner's on there. He charges $2,500 a fucking 30-second video.
Unreal.
That is so crazy.
Josh, tell the
Josh.
listeners. I want you to tell the listeners about two things. One, about how you crashed your Ford Probe on our way to school one day, and two, about the Ford Probe body kit that you got.
Third question. Are you a dry guy or a wet guy as far as jerking off goes?
Jesus Christ. Not answering
Don't
the third one.
I do not respect dry guys. I just something about it, dude. I don't
Goodness.
get
All right,
it.
so the Ford Probe. So it was I believe a 92 or a 93 Ford Probe GT. Yes, love the name Ford Probe. It's great.
Dry guy.
Me being about 6 months older than you, Andrew. I had my license before you. So I used to pick up Andrew, and we'd go to school. And one day there was just this nice spider decided to go down into my window. Just coming down on me, and I freaked a little bit. I started swatting at it, and long story short, car went off the road, hit a big old concrete lawn ornament.
Oh,
I ended up, turtled on top of this lawn ornament, and wrecked the whole front of the front of the car.
Andrew was with for this?
Andrew was with. It was
probably his
a little
fault.
bit of a ride.
The car was teetering on the freaking lawn ornament. Like, the front of the car was on the ground. The back was like 6 feet in the air.
I once did that with a light pole that fell over on the top half. I was teetering on the base.
Well, and it was a little bit of a disappointment because I was fiberglassing a piece of a body kit onto the front of my car at the time, so that was destroyed. And me being quote unquote called NASCAR back in the day, I had the bright idea to take some sheet metal and then just make a new front end on it. So it was definitely interesting. We often came up with some good decisions and some terrible decisions with regards to our vehicles at that point in time.
Any respect I lost for you for being a dry guy, I just gained back for knowing how to fiberglass body kits. What was the second question? The legitimate question?
It was about the
Did he answer
body
them both?
kit, yeah. When I made a nice sheet metal.
Touche, bud.
Sheet metal.
How beautiful is it
bumper.
right fucking now?
So we're going to get ready to wrap it up. So, hey, Christian, drop that
He's
Nimbus
watching the
cloud.
Pelicans go diving.
What are we looking at?
All right, so, Josh, leave the listeners with some inspiration. Maybe if they're struggling with something in their life, or they're having a tough time in a situation, or maybe they're feeling really good right now. Like Jesse. Leave them with a little something, something.
One of the things that I try to live by now is I try not to create senses of right and wrong, good and bad. A lot of things I try to just view in a perspective that it's in the place where it needs to be. And if it's something that I don't see fit, there's a different way to look at it or a different way to go about it. And for me, that's the biggest key for me when it comes down to my hardships is, instead of putting a label to it, making it something that's good or bad, it just gives you the opportunity to change it. Look at it differently or go about it differently. So I think the word itself is different, not right or wrong, good or bad.
Indifferent, right?
Indifferent
or different?
It's different because if you're indifferent, you're not sure how you feel about it.
That is huge, though, dude. I think that is the key to my life right now. Is obviously, if I would have made a lot better choices over the last 10 years, it's crazy the things I could have or where I could be right now in life, But the bottom line is, I fucking didn't. I did what I did, and I'm making better choices now. But if there's always a different way that you can look at everything. It's like, I could have this huge house and fucking amazing credit score and be able to get everything I want in life right now, but right now I'm able to get a lot of the things I want in life right now because I'm working towards, it's like you just gotta look at life in a certain light, and fucking find there's always a bright side to look at, the fucking perspective. You can make yourself fucking miserable and lose all fucking motivation and have a shitty outlook on life because of the perspective that you have and the way you choose to look at everything.
Yeah, and I think some people, or a lot of us, it's human nature, to sort of pull the negativity out of a lot of things when, things may not be going the way that we want. It doesn't need to be looked at as a negative. There's the opportunity to, create that different sense of self and, opportunities for yourself.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Subscribe to the podcast. Leave a rating on iTunes. That's how we grow together. And if the podcast helped you tonight or any night, share it with a friend. Share it with your mom. Share it with your brother. Share it with your second cousin's auntie's dog. We don't care. Just make it happen. Go to theeverydayhustleshow.com. Join the mailing list for 20% off some merch. maybe buy your girl a hat or a shirt or something. You know, we got pink ones up there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just bought Helene a pink one right now. When I get home, she's literally going to freaking S my D.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Don't be a dry guy.